Howdy y'all, and welcome. We're going to get right on into it here. As you saw in the title of the video, we're going to be getting on a big old storm system by the weekend. And before we get into that, we're going to take a look at what we could expect leading up into the weekend. As you can see, we got a big old atmospheric river event happening out west, bringing a lot of rainfall, a lot of snowfall, which is good for the ski resorts. If you have any ski resorts near you, go out there and enjoy them. And that's going to lead the way to our big old storm system out east that I was talking about in the title of the video. That's going to bring a chance for severe weather down here by Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi, where there is a 15% chance for that. Now we'll get into that here in a little bit, because our main story is going to be this big old snowstorm. And as we zoom in here, we're going to be taking a look at different models today. We're going to take a look at the Euro, GFS, Canadian, and the National Blend of models. Now, why we do that here at Williams Weather is because snowstorms are really hard to predict. If you ever watch the local weatherman, you can see that one day he'll say, oh, we're on 8 to 12 inches of snowfall. Then once we get to the actual event, we have 2 inches of snowfall. That's why we take a look at different models. Now, the Euro typically underdoes the snowfall totals, while the GFS typically overdoes it. The Canadian model is typically in the middle of that. And the National Blend of models is the most conservative model, and that's what your local weatherman uses. Now, as we take a look at the Euro, we can see the exact placement of where it thinks the snowstorm is going to be setting up at. It's going to be setting up over Wisconsin, Michigan, and Indiana, getting out of here by Monday afternoon. I'll go ahead and show you the snowfall totals while I'm at it. We're going to use the 10-to-1 ratio. What this means is for every 10 inches of snowfall equals 1 inch of rain. That typically relies on how moist the atmosphere is, because this can go all the way up to 12-to-1 ratio, or it could go all the way down to 5-to-1. And as we can see on the 10-to-1 ratio, we can see that the most snowfall is going to be occurring up here by the lake, just east of Wisconsin and west of Michigan, up here by the UP, while Indiana and Illinois is going to be getting in on 3 to 6 inches. Now, a couple of these models are in agreement with each other. Now, I'll show you the GFS model. As we can see, it's pushing the snowstorm further towards the west. Indiana and Ohio is going to be getting in on some rain. And this is what's going to cut down on those snow totals as well. As you can see, we're going to be dealing with some icing over here by the lake, over here by Michigan as well. It's going to be getting out of here quicker than what the Euro is saying, but they're both in agreement on the snowfall totals, surprisingly. As we can see that from Kansas on up into southern Wisconsin, about 3 to 6 inches, while up here by the UP, you're beginning in on 8 to 12. While it looks like Indiana and Ohio is going to be getting in on a dusting. As we take a look at the Canadian model, the Canadian model is showing us that the snowstorm is going to be setting up right over east central Indiana and northwest Ohio and parts of Michigan as well. And even western Kentucky is getting in on this snowstorm too. Going to be getting out of here by Monday evening. As we take a look at the snowfall totals for the Canadian model, we can see right around 3 to 6 inches over here by Indiana, in Michigan and Ohio, while Canada's getting in on right around 8 to 12 inches. Now lastly, I don't want to bore y'all, but let's take a look at the National Blend of models. This is what your local weatherman uses. We can see that the most snowfall is going to be occurring up here by the UP in Michigan. Now the most conservative model is in agreement with the GFS and the Euro. The only model that's different is the Canadian. It all depends on the temperatures, it really does. So just please, again, take this with a grain of salt. I will have periodic updates every day on my social media pages, my X page, formerly Twitter, and Facebook. So just go check those off. Links to those in the description down below. If we get any snowfall here at the Williams Weather headquarters, I will be out there in the field reporting on it. I'll have the drone up in the air as well, so make sure you subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate it. If you live anywhere along this area here, please go out there and get your bread and milk. Just go ahead and do it. Giving you a bread and milk watch, essentially. That's what I'm giving y'all. So just go ahead. Not the one to scare y'all or anything. I don't do clickbait or none of that garbage. But go out there and get your bread and milk just in case. Because it looks like a big old snowstorm is going to be setting up somewhere along this area. And this is in the midst of shopping season as well. So just please be careful out there if you're shopping for your loved ones or your family members for Christmas. As it looks like it's going to be a pretty doozy storm system. Now we're going to take a look at the reasons why they issued the 15% chance for severe weather on Saturday. Take a look at this. We're going to take a look at the Troughing and ridging patterns, basically the jet stream is what this is. As you can see, a major trough is going to be setting its way towards the east. It's going to turn into a negatively tilted trough. Now we have 3 different troughs: positively tilted, negatively tilted, and neutral. This is a negatively tilted trough. Negatively tilted troughs are associated with bad weather. That's why they issued the 15% chance that they did. And the reasons behind why negatively tilted troughs are associated with bad weather mainly is because cold air funnels this way towards this little divot, and warm air funnels towards that in a sort of a circular fashion this way. Warm air and cold air interact with each other, and as we all know, in basic terms, cold air and warm air don't like each other. They start fighting like brothers and sisters. Then whammo, we get our 15% chance for severe weather, which could turn into a slight risk. Or regardless, whatever risk it's going to be, y'all should be prepared anyways. Because even during low risk days, there have been tornadoes. So, I mean, y'all should take this seriously. Now, I want to show y'all what we call the lightning flash density rate. This basically shows where the most intense storms are going to be setting up. As I push this forward, you can see on Saturday afternoon, we have some intense storms setting up by then. It's going to last all the way through right around 7 o'clock. Getting out of here by right around 1 o'clock in the morning. So I would prepare for severe weather on Saturday to happen between 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock. I know that's a pretty wide time horizon, and we will nail this forecast down as we get closer. So make sure, again, you are click the links down below so you're following my social media pages, because I will have updates on the snowstorm and the severe weather moving forward, because it's still very uncertain as to who will see tornadoes, who will see hail and damaging winds. But basically, just make sure, regardless of whatever risk you are under on Saturday, please make sure you keep the phones charged up, get fresh batteries in the weather radios, and make sure you know where to go when that severe weather warning is issued. Basement, interior room, closet. Stay away from windows, because it's looking like Saturday is going to be a pretty big day for severe weather. Now, there can be some failure modes, which we really can't get into right now because there's not really much to show, but I can show you all the surface cape. Looks like there's going to be high cape that day. Basically what cape is, without boring y'all, it's convective available potential energy. It's the energy that is used for severe weather development. But again, make sure you're following my social media pages down below. I will have updates on there as we do get closer to this event. Once we get past this storm system, which is going to bring a lot of rainfall to the eastern part of the country, regardless snowfall or severe weather, which is good because we've been in some drought conditions out here. It's going to bring some drought relief. Once that moves out, we're starting to dry out here in much of the country until we head into the 12th to the 13th, as it looks like we're going to be dealing with some snowfall over here from eastern Arizona up into Missouri and even down here by Texas as well. Now keep in mind, this is well over 200 hours out. Take this with a grain of salt. This might not even happen, but if it does, I will be on here reporting on it. And as it looks like it could be a pretty dangerous event because y'all ain't used to this down here in Texas. Before we get into the temperatures and temperature outlooks, we're going to take a look at the precipitation outlook for the next 6 to 10 days. We're going to be near normal to above average along the eastern part of the country and up here in the northwest, while we're going to be really below average for really much of the country. If you live over here in Alaska, looks like eastern Alaska is going to be above average, while western Alaska is going to be below average. I know I don't report on y'all much on here. Comment down below if you do want to see me report on Alaska more often. I know Alaska and Hawaii, y'all's weather's really normal. So we take a look at the next 8 to 14 days. It looks like we're going to be drying out east, while it looks like the central part of the country and the western part, you're going to be getting in on some above average precip. While it looks like Hawaii is going to be normal, Alaska is going to be above average to below average out west. Now back to the models, the temperature anomalies. We can see above average temperatures is going to be in store out west, while out east is going to be sort of below average. We're going to be heading into an above average period out east, with below average temperatures expected out west. As we head closer to the middle of December and getting closer to Christmas time, it looks like below average temperatures are going to be expected out east, while above average temperatures are expected towards the northern part of the country. I'm sure y'all are curious as to what the actual temperatures are going to look like. Well, we can see as we head towards the weekend, we're going to start to warm up a little bit down south. Getting cold again, warm again. As we head towards the weekend, we could see a major warm-up. Look at this, guys. 70-degree temperatures as far north as South Dakota in December. This is really good. Go out there and enjoy it, guys. And this is really not good if you don't want to see severe weather, because it looks like on Saturday we're going to be near 80 degrees down here in Louisiana, and that's fuel for severe weather. Remember, as I was saying earlier, we're on that negatively tilted trough. Well, this is that warm air that's funneling towards the north, and here's that cold air that's funneling towards the south. A lot of moisture and instability here, and then that's going to be pushed out by the cold front. And remember that snowstorm I was talking about earlier as well? It all comes down to the temperatures. Well, it looks like we're going to be going from 70 degrees on Saturday down to 20 degrees on Sunday. That's why I was saying earlier about the snowstorm, that it all comes down to what temperature it's going to be. Because it looks like after that snowstorm, it is going to be freaking cold. And it's going to remain cold as well out there. So basically we're going to go from really nice temperatures to downright frigid. So just please be prepared for this. And of course, we got to take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center says. We can't just rely on the models. Looks like much of the country is going to be near normal to above average, except for down here from Texas on over into the panhandle of Florida. Up here by Alaska, you're going to be below average. Hawaii, you're going to be above average. Next 8 to 14 days, much of the country is going to be above average, fun in the sun, while Alaska is going to be below average. So go out and enjoy these nice temperatures while they last this week, because next week looks like it's going to be cold, although they are saying above average temperatures are going to be expected next week. Now, of course, if you stayed this far in the video, I'd like to thank you. I know it's probably been boring thus far. I'm sorry about that. This is weather forecasting. We try to make weather forecasting fun and informative here at Williams Weather. But again, if you stayed this far in the video, I want to show y'all the white Christmas forecast. I know if y'all saw this on Facebook and on X, formerly Twitter. You see my weekly updates on there. I'll have weekly updates on here as well as I push this towards Christmas. And I'm hoping y'all are having a great holiday season so far, going out and getting those gifts for your loved ones and just having a merry old time. Looks like on Christmas Eve morning, we can see a storm system setting up across the eastern part of the country. Now keep in mind, this is well over almost 500 hours out. Take this with a grain of salt. Don't trust this forecast until we get closer. But it looks like a storm system is going to be setting up somewhere along the eastern part of the country right around Christmas. As we head into Christmas Eve night, the kiddos are in bed waiting for old Santa Claus to come down the chimney, which is pretty creepy, by the way. Dealing with a lot of rainfall out east. As the kiddos are waking up on Christmas Day, they're excited to see what Santa got them for Christmas. I'm dealing with a lot of snowfall along the Appalachian Mountains. It's going to be dry for much of the country. But as we take a look at what kind of temperatures you're going to be expecting, Christmas Eve morning, we can see that much of the country is going to be downright cold, which is typical. And it's going to be pretty nice down here by Florida, in Southern California and southwestern Arizona. As we head into Christmas Eve night, looks like it's starting to warm up along the central part of the country, right around the 40s and the 50s down by Texas, 50s in Southern California. As you wake up and seeing what Santa got you, it's going to be downright cold for much of the country yet again, but please take this forecast with a grain of salt. These ain't going to be the exact temperatures, because this is the CFS model. It's the most unreliable model out of all of them. So again, I will be doing these white Christmas forecast videos leading up into Christmas, and I will have a Christmas forecast video up possibly on the Friday before Christmas. So make sure you're subscribed down below so you never miss an upload. So it looks like a big old storm system is going to be setting up by the weekend, bringing some severe weather down south, where there's a 15% chance. I would expect the time frames for that to last from 1 to 7 o'clock in the afternoon. I know it's a pretty big time horizon, but please prepare for this, because it looks like it's going to be a pretty big severe weather day. As far as the snowstorm goes, it's very uncertain as to where this is going to be setting up at. All I know is it's going to be setting up along the eastern part of the country somewhere, as I'm already going to be issuing a bread and milk watch along this area. So go out there, go be prepared to go get that bread and milk, and be careful if you're heading out holiday shopping as well. Knock people over for those TVs and laptops. Shopping for your loved ones. I will have periodic updates on my social media pages. I'll have links to those in the description down below. Go check those out. I'll have updates on what risk you'll be under as far as severe weather goes and where the snowstorm will set up at and the snow totals. If we get any snow here at the Williams Weather headquarters, I will be out there reporting on it. I'll get the drone up in the air as well. So stay tuned. And after the storm system gets out and brings well-needed rainfall to much of the eastern part of the country, where y'all are still under some drought conditions, it looks like it's going to dry out yet again. But it looks like some snowfall is going to be possible from Arizona up into Missouri. Now this is still pretty far out. And it looks like a warm-up is going to be in store this week as well before it starts cooling way down and getting really chilly by the middle of the month. So make sure you like and share the video so more folks are informed about the weather. Make sure you are subscribed down below with bell notifications turned on so you never miss an upload, because here at Williams Weather we make weather forecasting fun and informative. And also leave me some feedback, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you, and until next time, never stop forecasting.